Okay, so this is just for you guys. I'm just gonna go jump in the pool because I'm so hot right now. I'll be back with another running video, probably either later in the week or early next week. Look, and if you like these videos, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. And for all of you that have subscribed, guys, it means a lot. Like, I'm humbled that you want to subscribe to my channel. I'm humbled that you think I'm inspirational, and I'm humbled that you're enjoying these videos. It means a lot. I'm working hard at it. I'm trying to be a better filmer and a better, I don't know, actor or a better whatever. But I am trying to do my best to make the best videos I can. Considering this isn't my normal job, right? This is a hobby that's slowly growing, quite amazing actually. So again, I want to make sure that I'm giving back to you guys. So the question that I have for all of you is, what would you like to see on this channel moving forward? Are the lengths of the videos too long? Are they too short? What kind of content would you enjoy more of? And you know, things like that. So please let me know. It would mean a lot because again, I'm here for you guys. Okay. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Plant Powered Runner. Today is going to be just a little different. I've shot a lot of B-roll over the last, I don't know how many months, that I'll kind of overlay as I talk, because otherwise I'm just going to be a talking head, and how entertaining is a talking head? It can get a little crazy. But today's episode is more of about questions. This is about you. This is about me giving back to you guys because you've got questions and I want to be able to answer them. And yes, I've answered them, commented down below in all of the posts, but I wanted to, how do you say it, make a video of it and have a little bit more of a dialogue, because I know that it's a little bit different how it looks when I type it to compared to how I convey it in person, I guess, right? So I'm kind of gonna be looking down at my computer from time to time just to come up with the question, because I don't have anyone to kind of ask me the question. The first question comes from Desmond, and it's, hey David, how long should one do MAF for? So this is an interesting question. It's a very good question, Desmond. The amount of time that you want to be training in MAF, and again, this is just based on my experience, okay, is until it stops working, until you reach that plateau, okay? Or if you only want to do it for 4 months or 3 months or 1 month, do it. But if you want to have the long-term results, and if you want to see some really cool results from it, you could try the things that I've done. Be dedicated and do it pretty much all your runs for a period of time, right? I did it for 4 months and it worked amazing. And then I decided, hey, I wanted to throw in some tempos, just to kind of change it up a little bit. So there was 1 day of a little bit of speed just to kind of see where I was at, and I enjoyed it. And I've been doing that, and then I incorporated some hills in there. You know, we talked about the hill repeats. So I started doing some of those. And then I literally just did a quick transition right into trail running. And I love trails. And summer is here, and the weather, all the snow disappeared. And I thought, hey, I really just want to be on the trail. That's where my heart and soul is. I just love it. And I started getting a lot of elevation gain. So here's the thing. You can do it for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, whatever. But just be consistent at it. If you're going to do the 80-20, do the 80-20, but be consistent at it. Okay, because you'll get the results based on time on your feet and heart rate. Don't care about anything else. Just focus on those things in terms of the physical aspect. On the other side, there's other things to look after, but basically, if you want to see some consistent results, you got to be consistent at it, number one, and you got to put in the time. So it's going to depend on what you have on your schedule. If you have the time to invest 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, a year, 2 years, whatever it is, then yeah, absolutely, go for it. That's my take, right? All right. Next question from John is, what apps do you use to show the data over the months? And what I think John's referring to is my spreadsheet, right? My spreadsheet that I've been using to put in all my runs in. You can see right here on the screen how the chart just kind of, all the data is there, right? And so I use apps. One of them is my Kuros app, okay? And then I also use Strava. And so based on those two apps, I'm able to populate my spreadsheet that you're looking at here. It only takes me 2 minutes to populate, each run. It's pretty simple to do. And yeah, so that's what I do. So I use spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet that I'm using is Numbers. And Numbers is a program on a Mac computer. So it's Apple's version of Excel, okay? So that's what I'm using. Now, here's the thing. Whoever wants it can get it. I'm just going to give it to you guys. So I'm going to put a link in the comment below where you can go ahead and click on it and you can get access to the spreadsheet that I've been using. I don't know how well it will convert into Excel, but certainly it's there. You can download it and you can do what it is that you want to do. Okay, so it's all there for you. Okay, hopefully that helps. Next question comes from Peter, and he goes, where do you find the time? I'm close to 60 kilometers a week, mostly MAF since February. Greetings from Germany. Greetings, Peter, from Germany. Where do I find the time? I referred to this in one of my previous videos, and it's, what's your why? Why are you doing this, right? Like, why is running important? Why is running at MAF important, right? If you know what that is, you'll find the time, right? And for those who really struggle to find that time because either you're a single parent, you have kids that you're dealing with, that's going to impede, with training. Work, big commitment, right? Put food on the table, shelter over your head, be able to drive a car, all that kind of stuff, pay the bills. Those family and work and stuff come first. However, don't neglect yourself. So I look at it this way. Speaking of privilege, I am privileged to be in a position where I can work as a real estate agent, and I have my mornings a little bit quieter than most people. So I don't have to be in an office at 9 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock or 10 or whatever. I don't need to be there, right? And I don't have a cutoff at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, right? Or I'm not on shift work. I have the ability to be flexible with my time. Things tend to get busy from about 12 o'clock kind of on into the evening. Sometimes it's even later in the afternoon that I get busy because people are home from work when they want to talk about real estate. And when they're home from work is when I'm working, right? So it's a little bit different. I do a lot of research throughout the morning part. So to find the time, you need to know your why. Why are you running? What is important about this? And then based on that, you'll figure out, okay, do I need to go wake up at, 4:30 in the morning and go out for an hour run, come home, have a shower, have something to eat, get ready and drive to work? Or are you going to do doubles? Are you going to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock or whatever? and go out for a run. Or maybe you do the run after work, or maybe you do the run on your lunch hour. Maybe you do a 40-minute tempo run at your work, and you can, use a towel and some water and kind of wipe yourself down, put some deodorant on, and away you go, right? Do the poor man shower. Whatever it takes, guys, whatever it takes, find the time. Now, if you want to do longer runs like I'm doing, then you could split them up, an hour in the morning, an hour at night, right? You can do doubles, and there's a couple of you that are out there doing that. So that's another way to get in some more extra mileage, okay? Maybe take one of your rest days, or maybe you have 2 of your rest days during the week, so you only have to run 3 days during work hours and then 2 days on the weekend, right? And then on the runs on the weekend, maybe one can be your long run, and one of them can kind of be a semi-long run or something, right? Just figure it out. You'll figure out a way to make it happen if it's important to you, okay? There's one question that I get asked quite a bit, and whether it's from my brother, whether it's from my family, whether it's from people that I don't know, it hasn't come up in YouTube yet. However, the question is, how many hours do I run each week? Or how many hours do I run in a month? And I'm like, I have no idea. Like when you total it all up. Yeah, I mean, I know that I may have run 19 hours one week and it could have been 16 another, but totaled up, I mean, if we really look at it, let's take a look at January, let's take a look at last year. So 2019, I was not motivated. There was nothing going on in my world with running. It was terrible, absolutely terrible. I was in a real big funk, as I talked about in my previous videos. But then something happened in September where it was time to make that change. And so 29 hours in September, 35 in October, 32 in November, 65 in December, right? You can see when the consistency really started, like at the tail end of November, then it really got to be serious. And so if we continue on over into 2020, we will have 60 hours in January, 41 hours in February, and then March, pandemic hit. I had a little glute issue that I was dealing with, which slowed down my running because I kind of took a little bit of a break in this period here. But things kind of got back to normal in April, started building up 43 hours. May was 60 hours, and then 55 hours in June. So I'll probably get another 10 more hours in this month. So I'll be at 65 hours again. So that's just kind of how things went. I'm just transparent, guys. Look, I'm one of you. I'm just doing the best I can. Running is my outlet. Running is my sanity. And I love it. So 272 hours for the year. I have about 900 and something miles, 2,342 kilometers, 53 personal records. Lots changing in my life with regards to running. Anyways, just thought I would show you all this and be just transparent the way I normally am. Got a question here from Steven, and he's saying, great run. Just one question. Is it okay during the run that my heart rate is a little bit above MAF, but my average heart rate is below MAF? So here's the thing. You can go out and you can run a 10 kilometer, and the first half of your run could be walking. And then the second half, you could be running really fast, like doing a tempo. But your overall heart rate is going to be below MAF. I wouldn't recommend it because you're not in the MAF zone, right? Sure, your average number averages out to that, but it doesn't really, it's not a real true MAF pace. So I always suggest when you run your MAF runs, every kilometer is at or below MAF. And if you know that it's going to be creeping a little higher because you're going to be going up an incline, shorten your stride, slow it down, and do quick steps, right? It's like a shuffle, quick step, right? And if you do your quick steps, you'll be able to get up that hill, right, at a lower heart rate. And I'm gonna actually put out a video on heart rate and things that you can do to kind of keep it low. I'll make that another video. Won't get into that here, but so what I suggest is that every kilometer is at MAF, okay? Or within a couple of beats, at or below, okay? But don't go out and walk or run really slow, even way below MAF, and then spike it with doing like a tempo. It doesn't work. But if you're only doing like a couple of, like if it's on a heart rate monitor built into your watch, right? It's the optical, right? There's a delay, so you need to learn what that delay is on your watch. So 10 seconds from now, what's going to be my heart rate, and then kind of work from that. So, or if you have a strap, you get the value back pretty quick, and in some cases it may be more accurate. You just need to figure that out, but do your best to kind of keep it in that MAF zone. Okay. Next question is from the Determined Runner. So, a question for most people I have when they ask this question is, how long have you been running? Right? Like if you're just a new person, a new runner, you just got born today. If you are a new runner, then your buildup is going to be very different than what my buildup would be, or what somebody else that's been running for a couple of years is, right? You have to build up based on what you're doing, like what's going on in your world. So if you're going to look at a number, do it like this. Pick 10%, right? You're going to increase your mileage by 10% each week, right? That could be a safe number to work with, right? So whether you throw that extra mileage on your long run, it's going to be up to you, right? That's where I would put it, because I kind of like to have a long run on the weekend, because I like to make an adventure out of it, basically. But yeah, so I mean, build up for you can be different from build up from somebody else. So take a look at where you're at. Try to implement the 10% rule. If you're running 3 days a week, you're not going to be building up that fast, right? You just want to slowly kind of get your legs going, right? You may be doing the run-walk method, right? Maybe doing the shuffling method, right? Everyone's going to be different. So just keep that in mind. So 10% a week is usually a good rule of thumb. In some cases, you could even go up to 15%. Okay. Here's the thing, and I'm going to go back to that one question, because one of the things he asked was, how did I build up for my 100-mile week? And the way that looked, I'm actually going to show you here in a minute when I can find. Okay, so my buildup for where I was, I kind of go back. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? I'll go back 7 weeks. Okay, to before, actually, not 7, 6 weeks before that, before my 100-mile week. When I was running 87 kilometers, okay? So 87 kilometers is 100 miles, 60 is about 70. So 87 kilometers is going to be around 45 miles, I would say. Sorry if I'm not exact. I'm going to throw the number on the screen right there so you can see it. So that's where I was May 4th to May 10th, right? That week there. And then I bumped it up 16%. And the next week was 102. And then the following week after that, May 18th to the 24th, I bumped it up 10.5% and went to 114. The following week, 11.7% increase took me up to basically 130. And then the week prior to me running my 100 miles, I was 9.3% increase. So I went up to 143. So that was kind of how things looked for me. So build up nice and slow, steady, safely, injury-free, at or below MAF. That's the way I did it. So this was a question from Carl, and Carl, he mentioned he was 53, and his MAF would be 180 minus 53, 127. But when he's walking fast, he's between 110 and 115. So he's having all sorts of issues trying to run at MAF and walk, and it's frustrating. Carl, I get it. Trust me, I get it. I've been there so many times. And so the way I would suggest is do the shuffle. It's a quick shuffle. Your strides are very, 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 very short, okay? And you're like this. It's literally really, really, really quick steps, right? And then when you're getting to a hill, walk the hill. You get to the top, quick steps running down, right? And then just before your heart rate starts to go too high, walk again. And yeah, it's going to be frustrating, but you'll get there, okay? It took me a couple of weeks to kind of build into that stage, right? What you may also want to do is you're a runner, you want to improve at MAF, right? So go out and you can do your run, okay? Do your run at MAF, or, right? Just like I explained. But then if you want, go out and do a walk in the evening with your wife, your partner, your spouse, your whoever, right? Or just by yourself, and go walk 5 kilometers, 3 miles, and just walk. I did that also for a couple of weeks, right? So you may want to try that and see how that works for you. All right, hopefully that helps. So question from, I guess this would be Jason Lee, is how many days of speed work do you do? And it's funny because for the longest time I didn't do any speed work. Nada. For like, you probably saw in my videos that I didn't do any speed work really until, when was it? May? Maybe I did a couple in April. So it was a while, right? I was September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. It's like 8 months before I did any speed work. But when I did start doing speed work, my speed work was more of a tempo, right? I wasn't at the track doing, doing intervals or anything like that. No 400s, no 800s, none of that. Mine, I went out every Tuesday or Wednesday, and I would go out for a tempo run just to see where I was at and how I've been improving. And it's been working out great. 1 day of speed work, but then you got hill repeats, right? So technically that's another speed workout, right? Because you pick a hill, 10% grade, 7% grade, whatever it is, and 30 seconds up, and then do like a minute rest down, right? That's another day, right? So you could have a tempo on a Tuesday and do Thursday doing hill repeats, and then all the rest are going to be 20% MAF, right? So that you can do that. That's kind of how I got into it, until I started doing the build up to my 100-mile week, because running 100 miles, I needed more mileage, so I kind of took over my tempo day. Next question. Stephen was like, hey, glad I got connected with your channel. Hey, thanks, Stephen, I appreciate that. I'm originally from Ontario, and now he's living in Ohio. He just got started training with MAF today. Got an early Father's Day present, a chest strap, which is awesome. And he's currently running approximately 20 miles at 32 kilometers a week. He's not training anything in particular, just running for fitness and trying to be a better runner. How many miles should I increase a week with MAF the standard 10% rule, or can I increase faster since it's MAF training? Yes, Stephen, MAF training, it's awesome. However, you again want to build up slowly and be very thoughtful in the process. You don't want to go too fast too soon. And it doesn't matter if you're running slow or not, you can still burn out, right? So I say keep with your 10% rule, maybe even 15%, but just be smart about it and build up slowly. Don't try to do too much too fast, because before you know it, you're going to be running longer distances, okay? But just kind of work your body into it, because it's still a stress on your body. It's still stressful. So just take it easy, relax, enjoy the process. Yeah, that's what I would recommend. And hey Dave, congrats on your 100 mile in a week. It appears you didn't do any double runs, as some people do doubles, to reach the higher mileage. Now I did mention that a little bit before, but I didn't do any of that. Mine were all just one go. That's what I did. Because it's hard for me, because I work in the evenings. I'm with clients, I'm either showing houses, going to list a house. Yeah, it's kind of hard during that time frame when everyone's home from work. So I try to get all mine in the morning. So doubles, very rare that you'll see me do a double. I mean, I did do one last week, but again, it's very rare. So all my miles were at MAF, yes. What about nutrition? Did you eat any specific foods for energy? Specific foods for energy? I went out, each of my run was at MAF. So basically I got my gut, I got my fat storage in my body, and that's what my body used, right, to fuel my run. So I didn't take anything. I just ran just at MAF and used my own source of fuel, okay? So yeah, there was a bit of body weight that was lost just running that distance. And to be exact, there was, I believe, 3 pounds lost just in that week. The other question, any specific foods? No. Footwear, how many different pairs of running shoes did you use? And how many hours of sleep did you need? Okay, so running shoes, I'm using 2 pairs of running shoes, and they're both with Ultra. One is my Ultra Torn that I'm still running in, believe it or not. You can see here, I think I'm gonna post it here. When I did my review on the Torn back in September or whatever it was, still running in these things. Actually, it wasn't in September. I don't know, I think it was 1,000 miles I had run in these Ultra Torns. And I'm still running in them. They're still holding up. So watch for a review coming out on that one. And then my Ultra Superior 3s. Now granted, my toenails have poked holes out the tops of those. It's got the rock plate in that I've been using on the trail runs. And yeah, and the insert's really good. So I got about 1,000 miles. I think about 1,000 miles or 1,000 kilometers in those. But yeah, that's all I used. That's it. One for trail and one for road. Kept it simple, right? So, and how many hours of sleep did my body need to recover? Again, I'm running at MAF. I'm not straining my body. However, there were days that I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go to bed early. And I'd turn the lights out and it would be like 10:30. I'm usually a night owl, but yeah, 10:30, I was out. Most days I was out by 11:30. I was out on most days. So as long as you get 7-8 hours sleep, you'll be fine. And the last question that we're going to look at is, so I just started MAF training this week. Thanks for your plug on Run Trails Ontario Facebook page. I have a couple of questions for clarification. So I'm 51. I've been running on and off for 5 years. So my MAF is 134 a second. Sometimes I check my watch and my heart rate is up at 137, 138, or even in the 140s. So I slow to a walk. Is it okay if it goes up that high, or do I really have to keep it lower to get the benefits of MAF? For example, on my 15-kilometer run, my average heart rate was 130. Is it the overall average that matters? Okay, So as you can see, a lot of people have these same questions, right, about the average pace. And so I'm gonna say no. When you're running, every kilometer you want to have at or below MAF. Look, all of my runs aren't always at MAF. You've seen some of them where they'll go up to 140, 141. I don't have a chest strap. So in my head, I've allowed my optical heart rate monitor on my wrist a leeway, like I had mentioned on one of my previous videos when I was running on the track. I've left it open for 2 to 3 beats on either end, right? To keep it in that MAF. So 141, 140, actually it's more 140, because 138 is my MAF, and then 39, 40, 41. I try not to want the 141 in there. Like if it gets up to 140, I don't freak out. But when I start seeing 141, yeah, I kind of start to freak out. So kind of want to dial that back. So try to keep everything under MAF. Do your best. At the beginning, it's going to be hard, and you're not going to get every run like that. Don't be all militant about it, because trying to keep the sustainability of it is the most important thing. Whether you're a couple of beats above, I wouldn't stress out too much about it. But the more that you run at MAF, the lower your heart rate tends well, your heart rate will get lower when you're running faster paces, and you're going to be like, this is too fast a pace for this heart rate. And it's happened to me a couple of times. So know that'll happen. But when you're starting off, I know it can be tough, okay? So don't freak out too much, but do your best to keep it below, okay? So I don't worry about the average. I worry about, what's going on each kilometer of my run, okay? So I'm transparent, right? I'm not perfect, but this is kind of what's gotten me to where I am, okay? So hopefully these questions helped you. We did a little bit more of a deep dive today. I know it was different. So I have one other question that I wanted to put out there, because I've actually had this question asked a couple of times, not on YouTube, but it came in from Strava. It's come in from emails. Anyways, and the question is, when I race, am I going to be running at MAF, or am I going to run at a faster heart rate? And the answer to that is, I'll run at a faster heart rate. I want to be competitive. That's what all these long, slow miles, this experiment that I started back in January or in September, was all about. And I wanted to be a better runner. I wanted to be faster. I wanted to get back to where I was. And so that being said, yes, I will run probably, in the heart rate will probably be like 165. That's probably where I'll be. Maybe not for the whole entire race, but it'll certainly be higher than my MAF pace. So just thought I'd put that out there. And that was the other question that I had forgotten. So anyways, just inserting it here. Back to the regular show. So anyways, that's all I got today. I'll be back, I promise, with more running and a bunch of other things. But right now, I'm flipping thirsty and I gotta go jump in a pool. See you guys later. Bye for now. Woo. Okay. See you guys later.